Okay, it's good to be back. I spent the last couple of weeks working on a personal photography project down in Baja. And if you're a personal friend on Facebook of mine, you probably saw the mud and dust caked on my Nissan Xterra. The trip was a blast. The photos I got are going to work out fantastically for my project. And I managed to score some very fun surf as well. Okay, well, back to the business of reviewing websites. So I think we actually have our very first Canadian on the Flaunt Your Site Wednesday website reviews. How very exciting. This week we're going to be looking at Dustin Hall Photography from Nova Scotia. Now I've actually met some Nova Scotians or Scoties or whatever they call themselves, but they're a strange breed being isolated up there in the hinterlands of Canada. But very cool people. They're good peeps for sure. All right, so let's get looking at the site here. So on the homepage, when I first come to the site, when I first come to this website here, it's all I see is a grid of images which turn out to be blog posts. And this isn't really useful for a potential customer. It also doesn't encourage them contacting you. There's no real call to action. Now this is really especially important as it looks like you photographed many subjects by looking at the categories. But your grid of blog posts only show off weddings and the engagements down here. So I think you'd be better served by having maybe even just a slideshow of a variety of what you shoot, and then including a blurb down here with a little bit about you, what you shoot, and a good photo of yourself. Now I say that on every review. Because people need to connect with who they're going to end up choosing as their photographer. I also notice you have these widgets down here, and I would just eliminate these and these categories here. They don't really do anything for the visitor. No one probably clicks through to these. All right, so let's look at your navigation here. So you got home, blog, about, Dustin, contact, pricing, your categories, and search. One of the other things I say in just about every single review is that people that shoot multiple subjects should have each of those subjects in the menu up here. So your categories here, they should actually be the top level items. Now this is the navigation is how people find what they want. But if they don't see what they're looking for right away, they'll leave. So the subjects in your categories should have, like I said, their own top level menu item and an associated page, what I call service pages. Having service pages is also a very good practice for SEO. Now each service page is keyworded appropriately and acts as a landing page for the search engine. So when someone is looking for Nova Scotia sports photographer, that's the page that one person will show up in the searches. Now you can see that you see examples of that on this website we designed for Teresa K Photography. If you click weddings, this page is designed specifically for that. This is the wedding page. It's titled properly. There's keywords in the URL, and you can find out products, rates, areas served. She actually doesn't have that on here, but she mentions it in here, so you actually have keywords inside the text reviews. Now this one was designed specifically for her, but you can still do this in your theme that you have with ProPhoto. It takes a little bit of customization, but you can still do that. So each of these pages, she has weddings, engagements. We used to have portraits in here as well. So each of these pages is a page that's designed to help her potential client get all the exact information that they need in order to hire her for that specific service. Okay, so that's what a service page would be and do. So for your categories, you have newborns and sports, maternity. Maybe each one of these is a individual top level menu item with an associated page with it. Okay, cool. So on your blog, it looks like you enjoy writing. I clicked in here to this first one that you have, and you have a lot of really great content here. And a couple suggestions I have for improvement on your blog pages, though. In your titles, put the focus on the location, not on Halifax wedding photographer Dustin Hall. You want this here to be on those service pages, because you want the keyword here on one page. If you have it on multiple pages like you have on your blog post right now, it dilutes the ability to have one page rank really well in the search engines. And that's really what you want. You want that one page. You want a specific page that's designed and tailored for people when they get to there. Now, let me scroll down through all these many photos here. I also recommend a call to action at the bottom of the blog post, so people have something to do when they finish reading the post. Bounce rates on blog posts are quite high, usually around 90% or more. Anything you could do to keep them engaged on your site is really critical. So when they get to the bottom, you want them to do something. They could comment, or you could have a contact you for more information, something like that. Book Dustin, today, or something like that. A call to action that keeps people engaged and keeps that bounce rate down, under 90%, hopefully. And then you have 2 Facebook comments here, and then a WordPress commenting system. Just go with one, Facebook or WordPress. And you have 2 Facebook things going on here, so get rid of one of them and choose the one with the like button or something. But you'll want to fix that for sure. And let's scroll back up to the top here. It wouldn't be a bad idea to get a scroll to top button as well. On the About page, the only comment I really have about the page is that you'd want one good photo of yourself looking into the camera, so people can actually see you. I like this sweet one of you and your wife. The brides will definitely go gaga over that, but you want a good headshot too, so people can connect directly with you, looking right into the lens. And I would, go with, it's nice to have large photos, but if you use medium-sized photos, you can align them left and right and kind of pepper them in the content, so that you're not kind of disconnected, by looking at the text and then the photo. They could be peppered in. They're a little bit smaller, yeah, but you pepper it in, it's a little bit easier to read for people. It's also more compelling of a read. The contact, so I'm not a fan of the Pro Photo contact thing, because sometimes with different browsers, it kind of pulses and then it drops down. But in some browsers, it doesn't work that way, and it works terribly with mobile devices as well. Sometimes you can't even see that it's dropping down. So I would use a real contact form, like a plugin like Gravity Forms, and make a dedicated page so that it's not an Ajax thing that pops down. You want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. And then your pricing page, first off, the photo's kind of large, and you have to scroll down underneath it to find the pertinent information that your client's looking for. You don't want people to think. You don't want people to have to go through hurdles to get to the information that they want. Now, you may not think of scrolling just like that to be a hurdle, but you want to put yourself in the shoes of a potential customer or just a web user. Getting the information that they want easily, very readily, that's what you want to be thinking of. And when you have to even scroll just a little bit, or when you're confronted with this photo, you think, do I have to scroll? What should I do here? So you never want people to think. That's the big thing, is you don't want people to think. So I'd suggest eliminating the photo, or again, making it a medium size and aligning it right so the text flows around it. And your first, and I'm not a fan of these guys either. They're kind of annoying. In your first sentence here, you say, I will be photographing weddings in both Nova Scotia and Ontario. Now, are you doing that yet? Think about the tense that you're using, past tense, present tense. I think that that what you wrote might put questions into the minds of people before they even contact you. And you want to avoid that. You don't want people thinking or overthinking, underthinking. You just want, good, solid information for people. And I think that raises a question. Let's see here. And, so you have weddings and newborns. And I think going back to the service pages, like with Teresa's here, she has rates on here. You could do that for each of your services. And that eliminates having one pricing page. So, bring that information into the weddings, the newborns, the engagements, the portraits. Bring that information into those specific pages, and then you won't have to have this, right? Because if I'm, wanting newborns, I don't need to know anything about weddings. I don't need to see that. Whereas if I selected it from the menu, then all that information is right there for me. Design. So overall, the design is quite basic. It's clean, but really nothing too special. If you have a visual identity that you've created for things like your products and packaging, I'd look to that for inspiration as far as design on the website goes. I don't think your design hurts you any, but adding a good, unique site design with nice elements and details brought in would definitely set you apart from other photographers. Okay, well, and then just a couple of mentions. I would eliminate the blog categories. That'll help. And then, I don't really know of people that search for things. So, I mean, you might keep it, you might not, but I don't think anyone would miss it if you took it out of your top menu items here. So I hope that really helps you out. You've got some good solid bones on the site. Great content that you've been creating, looks like for some time. Focus on some changes to improve your potential customers' experience will be a big help to getting more actual clients, though. So I hope all that helps. So thanks for that, Dustin.